And we are live. Damion Pick, what's up, brother?
What's going on, Johnny? How you been?
Dude, it's been way, way, way too long,
Yeah, forever.
man.
Yeah, it's
I,
I think I might have run into you like once or twice. I know I passed by your house the one time and you were on your way to something up the arena and you were frazzled. You didn't have sunscreen or something like that.
maybe, maybe.
Yeah. Some sort of a promotion. You were all dressed up nice and everything, but I believe it was going to be outside, so
Yeah,
you were looking
maybe.
for your sunscreen. You had to run back. You had to double back.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
remember. That's too.
Yeah.
That was because I lived next to you for well, not next to you, but close enough to say we can be called neighbors.
Yeah, right up the road.
Yeah, it's
two
for
minute walk.
6 years, and I saw you maybe driving once or twice. That's it.
Yeah.
It's a
I was
damn
going past
shame.
your house on my 9 bot that day that I saw you. I was on my way to Nucleus. I was going
Okay.
to get like a juice or something like that. And I was on my 9 bot and I was passing by.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
funny. So what's up, man? It's been like I said, it's been far too long since we've actually had a conversation like we're gonna have tonight. And
Yeah.
Damion Pick was the graphic designer at the Weekender. This is one of the Weekender Files series that I've been doing. I want to say like 2 years.
2 years. Yep.
Yeah, like 04 to 06.
Oh, 04 to 06. I started at the Times Leader 2003, not sure the month, but then the job opened up at the opportunity for the job opened up at the Weekender, and it was, I believe it was July 04.
Yeah, because I was an
So
intern from I want to say I don't know. Did you start at the Weekender when I was an intern? Yeah, you must have,
I believe so.
but I don't remember
I
you
believe
as.
so. Yeah.
Do I? No, I must have run into you because I remember I was an intern in '04 that summer, and then I remember um I want to say October or November ish of that same year. I ran into you in the parking lot of one of the
Geisinger.
hospitals. Yeah, because you were having a baby,
Yep.
not you, your wife, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So I
It would have
definitely,
been the end. Yeah. Yeah. It would have been the beginning of October.
yeah,
I got the call. I was actually at the Weekender, and I was in the office and I got the call. So I mean, like, we knew each other enough to have like that interaction because you were like running this way and I was running this way at that time.
yeah. You want
So
to talk about being frazzled? I remember I saw you and you looked like you didn't know where you were going.
yeah, oh yeah,
That's
oh
funny.
yeah,
That's funny. So yeah, so you were so you started at the Times Leader. I didn't know that actually.
yeah. I was in the classified automotive ad section.
Okay,
I was there for a year, working with
all right,
Mikey G over there.
Mikey G.
Yep.
Now, before we get too far into this, are you having a beer or
Yes, I
something?
am.
Of something. We have to have a drink. It's the Weekender Files,
Okay.
and we spend a lot of time having beers and stuff like that during the Weekender. So here, cheers.
Couple of them. Cheers.
Yeah. So the job opens up at the Weekender. Was that a place you wanted to be, like you aspired to be, like, or it was it terrible in the classified section? You had to get out of there.
I was I definitely wanted to be over there. I'd see some of the ad reps coming in and out, and you know, once that once that opened, someone over there said like you'd be a perfect fit over there. So that got me a little pumped up about it. And then I had to put together a little bit of a like a full page spread for like a deck series or something like that. So that was part of it. I think I was like one of 5 people that actually put in for it, and then I ended up getting the job.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I started a year later, and well, I guess yeah, a year later. Um, and for me, you were like a big brother for me, man. You were, yeah, you know, you had like you were like an adult though. Like you were like a serious, like you were married, you had a kid. At that point, you had a kid.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, you were like my older brother, which was awesome for me. I don't know if you knew that or not, but yeah, that's how I and my funny big brother. We
Oh,
had
it
a lot
was
of
great. It was
we had a
great. I
lot of fun.
mean, y- yeah, yeah. The times we had in the cubicles, that was. I look fondly back on all that stuff. You only get one go around with a job like that. Like that's not. It was definitely a special place and a special time.
Yeah, so you're there for 2 years. I mean, like, what do you think you brought to the Weekender outside of the design capabilities, like, and your personality? Because you were definitely you're I assume you
Mm.
probably still are like a bit of a goof, and I mean that in the best way. Like,
Yeah.
not like
Oh, absolutely.
you're a loser goof. Like you're just like you're fun to hang out with.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I brought that. I think I elevated the mood a little bit. I was kind of like a confessional over in my cubicle. Like the ad reps would come in and just unload on me pretty much. Like, oh, I had to deal with this guy, I had to deal with this ad, and like it was. I think I was kind of that for a lot of people there because like with the ad reps they were in and out all the time. Same with you. You were on the road. You were dealing with the interns and stuff like that. But I was kind of like me and like whatever editor was there at the time or staff writer. Like we were kind of like right there, and I'd always have the music going, and everyone would just kind of come over, sit on the desk and unload on me, kind of.
Yeah, they did sit on your
I was
desk. I
just
forgot about that.
I was like that ear.
Yeah, and you were very good
Yeah.
at it too. Yeah. And you painted that big Weekender wall for us. Like, well, we helped paint it, but you like mapped it all out, which I still to this day have no clue how you did it. But for those of you listening or watching, we had a
Yeah.
we had a huge wall on the one of the sides of the rooms, and Damion, um, I don't know how you did it, but the Weekender logo like went sideways, like from the bottom left corner to the top right of the wall. And that was such a cool piece of that room, which unfortunately is gone now. I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah, I heard that. That's a shame.
Yeah,
We put we
heartbreak.
put in some time to that. That was like a big week. That was like a weekend deal.
Yeah,
I believe Tiffany mentioned that. Like Alan left on a Friday and came back on a Monday, and it was like, okay, this is here now. Did it stealth?
that happened a lot though. Well,
Yeah,
this is here now.
yeah. I guess
Uh,
this is here now.
yep. One of my favorite stories with you.
Moving.
What's that?
Oh, I was gonna say just like like moving cubicles around, like just like something brand new. I believe like when Christina was there, she had that big cubicle over in the corner, over by where Christie's office would be.
Right.
And did you start over there?
No, I
Did you
started
start
right
over in
next to
that
you.
cubicle?
No,
No.
I started next to you. I forget why or how.
Or did you start down from me, and then I believe somebody moved out, and then you moved right next to me,
I
and then
don't
Tiffany moved into your old one because we were kind of away from everybody at that point.
I don't remember now. Now that you say it, I felt like I was next to you the entire time,
Yeah.
but maybe I wasn't. Maybe I was in the corner for a minute, but I remember because that room had like two sets of six cubicles at one point, and we got rid of the one set and put couches there, and we had that big wall with the Weekender logo, and then we just kind of consolidated to the one side of the room with the cubicles. But yeah, it was we were cubicle mates, I guess you could say, and um, I, my favorite story with you is the football story with Rachel Pugh. So we had this like blue football, and it was like a rubber football, but it was hollow in the inside. And Damien and I would
Something
play
that they would
catch.
throw out at like football games.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
Yeah,
probably where it came from. One of the Pioneers games or some shit like that.
something like that.
Yeah, we would play catch in the office all the time, um, more than we probably should have. Um, and maybe you can help me figure this out because I remember like we kept like throwing it into Rachel's office, or like you would be in her office and I would throw it to you and you catch it in there. Or I don't know if we were just throwing it in her office to at one point to see if like because we like throw it in there and she try and get it, but we would always get it before she did. And one time she was hiding behind the door, so when we threw it in there, she grabbed it and kept it for a few
She
days.
was wait. She was waiting on it. It was a great defensive move actually.
Yeah.
Like that came flying in, and then she just batted it out, and then like panic struck because the entire time she was saying, "If I get my hands on that, you think I'm kidding? I'm gonna cut it up. I'm gonna cut it up into pieces." Well, she knocks it down, and then like fumble, like just dives on top of it. We dove on her trying to get it, wrestled her as much as you could wrestle a manager at that
Yeah.
time,
And a female.
you know. And then she's like, "Yeah, you'll see."
And
Came
I
in the
think
next day.
it was
It was
on
in
your
it
chair.
was in pieces on my chair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
it
didn't
didn't.
think I didn't think she would do it.
I know, but it didn't end there. And that's where the best part of the story comes in. Damien, again, I don't know how you did it. I have no idea how you did it. And I mean, this thing was probably cut up in between 50 and 100 pieces, small pieces too. I don't know how you did it, but Damien, you glued it back together, all but one piece.
Yep. Yeah,
And the best
because I
part
couldn't
was,
find it.
yeah, and the best part was, I don't know how you did it, like because like you had to. I mean, it was contoured. It was a football. It was curved and everything. Like I
Yeah.
don't know how you did it, but the best was when she thought she won. She thought like it's over, and I don't know if like you went in her office and I threw it to you or vice versa. But I remember throwing it, or I remember seeing her face. But like I think it was you. You caught it, and you're like, "Oh, what's this?" And she would just like, "How the fuck is this happening?"
Yeah. She's like, you're a psychopath. You're just a psychopath.
Yeah, you can't stop our
Yeah,
fun, man.
she underestimated my love for puzzles and a punchline. Last
That was one of my favorite memories of you. And
yeah,
we'd also like just toss every. It wasn't that definitely wasn't Tuesday because Tuesday you were like hardcore
no.
like busy. Maybe Mondays or maybe Wednesdays it was, but Tuesdays it
I
was
don't believe it was Monday. I don't believe it was Monday or Tuesday.
maybe
That
Wednesday.
but it was like it was like a stress ball pretty much, like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, a little bit of downtime,
Yeah,
start firing from corner to corner.
that was a fun job, and I always say, and I think this is what kind
That
of
was
led to what you having to move on with your life. I would say that that's not a place for someone who is A, has a boyfriend or girlfriend, B, married, and C, definitely not someone who has kids, because there was a lot um required of us. And I see when I say required, that's the wrong word, but like we didn't just work 9 to 5 together. We would do a lot of after work activities, a lot more of like the sales reps and myself. I mean, because obviously you had a child at home and a wife, and at that point like a newborn, or maybe a year old, whatever it was. But um, so it was hard for you to really come out. But it was not really a place to work at when you're you know at that age, I guess you could say.
absolutely. I was married in we've been married we were married in '01. So, and I was doing construction at the time. I was working on the road, and for the first year of my marriage, I was on the road. We just we were seeing each other on the weekends. So, that's when we decided it was time to figure something else out. That's when I went back to school, and then got the job at the Times Leader, and then went to a job where, like, it's time to start settling down. But I mean, we had to do what we had to do there, with our nights out and stuff, and everyone was everyone was kind of present there. But like you said, I'd have to rein it in a little bit because of being married and having the kid at the time.
You had
That was so long
responsibilities.
ago.
You had responsibilities. I mean, that
Responsibilities, yeah.
no one's knocking you for that. But it was, but when you went out, I mean, you did it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the parade. I remember the parade in 2005. No,
Oh yeah.
06, I guess it was. We went up in a limo, and I don't
Yeah.
remember if you came back with us in the limo or not. I remember like we
I
had to pick
believe
up.
yeah. Yeah, I was with we went up in a limo. We went up with Polly. Polly was with us going up, right?
I don't
I
remember, dude.
believe.
I don't remember. I mean, it's getting real foggy.
Yeah. So Polly started with us. We all parked our cars over at the office, and we went up in a limo, and he started with the Hennessy shots right off the
Always.
bat, and then we went up to, yeah, always. And then we went up, we did you know kegs and eggs somewhere at one of the accounts. I'm pretty sure it
I
was.
want
And
to say
then
I want to say
that's
Finn
that's
McCool's.
the way we started the day.
I want to say
Okay.
Finn McCool's for kegs and eggs. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And that was before everything. That was super early. That was way too early.
yeah.
But it was nice though, like, we'd go around with our shirts, and everyone was kind of like, yeah, skip the line, jump right in.
Yeah.
The benefits.
Yeah. The pay wasn't great, but the perks were good. But I feel
Yeah,
like
if it wasn't for the pay, right?
yeah, I feel like, but at the end of the day, though, when it was time to go home, the limo was where it was supposed to be to pick us all up, but you were at the Radisson, I think. I think I could be wrong.
Yes. Yeah.
Ah, what a
Yeah,
shame.
my one buddy met us up there, and I believe I got a ride. I got a ride back with him. But then I feel like we met up again down at Kevin's or something like that, or
Probably. I don't remember.
that night. Yeah, yeah,
I really don't. It was the time of my life, and I remember a lot, but there's definitely moments that I forget.
yeah.
But yeah,
I
so
remember Paul had a show that night.
probably
We
yeah.
had to get back. We had to get back into town because he had to get his stuff together, and he had a show somewhere in Wilkes-Barre. Maybe that's where we all ended up.
Probably. Man,
Yeah.
what year was that? It was 06. I'm trying to think what was open. Was Nightcaps open back then? I don't remember. I don't remember.
I remember the bar, but I don't remember the name of it. It was at the end of Main Street. It was at the end of North Main, I believe. It had a second level to it.
Outsiders?
There you go.
That's actually South Main Street. Close though.
That's south. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
close.
A Main Street.
It's in Main Street, and it had 2 levels. You're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And didn't you? Speaking of Panacea and Polly, I think you and I didn't we do me, you, Tiffany. I think Rachel was probably there too. We did a bus trip to Philly. I think it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
You were almost late. I feel like trying to pick you up.
What, to
To,
getting to the bus?
yeah, yeah, we were picking you
Oh,
up.
I don't remember that, but that sounds like me. That sounds like something. I'd be holding the whole party up.
Mm-hmm. And
That was a good time too. That was for like a battle of the bands or something like that, wasn't it?
I forget what it was for. I don't know if it was just a band showcase or battle of bands or what it was, but yeah, and those were
Yeah.
always fun. We did. I don't think you were there, but we did that with Panacea. I think we did like 2 or 3 trips with Panacea. We did one with Spit Can, Um, that was at CBGB's in New York. That was a lot of fun. And we did one with I think Hour After and a couple other guys. Uh, that was also a lot of fun. But yeah, wild stuff. And my second favorite memory of you and I, we were we did for Halloween. It was 2005. We did the staff went as was it I don't know how to say it. It was we went as Sesame Street characters, but
Sesame Street. Yeah.
we kind of sexed it up, didn't we? Or no?
Yeah.
You and I
Yeah.
didn't.
It was supposed to be like, no, no, like, how are we going to? But I mean, like, we had a staff of all, all women, and they wanted to do like a sexy Sesame Street
Yeah,
theme. So it's like, well, what are me and you gonna do? Like,
but we did the
but yeah.
we did the two-headed monster or whatever it's called. I forget what the name is, and we had this thing around our neck, and your sign or my sign said "boo," and then whatever else, the second part of us had bees. So
So we were sounding out the
yeah,
sounding
boobies.
out the words.
Yeah, boobies.
Yeah. We were supposed to have a bunch of them, but I think we just kind of stuck with boobies.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah, kept it easy.
yeah. Oh man.
And I believe Katie went as like Oscar the Grouch. She was wearing a trash can that her dad cut up for her or something like that.
I forgot about that. That was a lot of fun, man, dude. I mean,
Yeah,
I had literally, I had the time of my life at that newspaper, and I feel like that's like the common theme with everyone who worked there, uh, up until a certain year. I want to probably say like 2011, 2012, when the world changed and the media consumption changes and ownership changed and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, late 90s, early 2000s, even the mid 2000s was like just it was wild.
yeah. I have nothing but fond memories, pretty much. I mean, like you were saying, like we played hard, and we fought like cats and brothers and sisters. But like, I mean, maybe I was just oblivious to the fighting because it was kind of like, I mean, Janelle would come in with something, at like 8 o'clock on a Tuesday night and need it changed or something like that, and she might get a sideways glance or something like that. But it's kind of just like what it was.
Yeah, and what was it like for you? Like dealing, I mean, the deadlines. Obviously, the paper came out every Wednesday, and
Yeah.
Tuesday was always just the day of hell. Like,
Oh, Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday was rough. You were putting in, and yeah, I think I put in 19 hours on a Tuesday the one time, but it was anywhere from like 15 to 16 hours. The Monday before that, 10 to 12 hours sometimes. But then the rest of the week, like we would have our staff meetings and editorial meetings on Wednesdays. So you're just kind of trying to make up the rest of the time with starting page layout, cover concept, any kind of marketing or promotion that was coming across the desk, or maybe just creating new ads for new businesses coming in. You guys were always getting good stuff coming in. So, but that was pretty much my week.
yeah, well, it was good for us too. Like, we were, I don't know how your thing worked. I think it was similar to mine, but like we were like hourly employees, I guess you could say. So like,
Same.
so yeah, we were required to do 40 hours a week, but like it was always more than that. It seemed like off the clock, but like I would always make sure that if I was going to be doing a night out on a Wednesday for 2 hours, that day I was only going to work 6 hours in the office. Or if you worked the 12-hour day on a Tuesday, or a 19-hour day on a Tuesday, like it was pretty easy going the next 3 days because you kind of just you know
Yeah.
mail it in, so to speak.
You knew you were coming in for about an hour to check emails and stuff like that, thumb through a Wednesday I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then, like, check edits and like you guys would be going through the paper, I'd be going through the paper, be like, okay, we missed this, we got to get this the next time, and then our editorial meeting would happen, which when Joe and Megan were there, like we usually do that at Panera.
Oh, really?
So we'd go up to Panera for about an hour and a half, and then, yeah, oh yeah, that was our spot. And then we come back and then have pretty much like the team meeting
Hmm.
with everybody saying, okay, this is what the issue is, so that you guys could go out and sell it that way, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Try to
was a,
get stuff to like cater to it.
yeah. I mean, for me, it was a great first job. It almost spoiled me to an extent. Um, I'm sure going from construction to that atmosphere was a fucking great
It
thing.
was awesome.
Yeah.
It was
I remember.
awesome. It was kind of like the first like desk job I ever had. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
and
remember
to
saying,
and to have it there, it was awesome.
yeah, I remember saying like there was times, uh, especially the first year, where I'd wake up and say, I can't believe I get paid to do this. This is, it wasn't a lot of money, but I was just out of college. I didn't.
Yeah,
It was like I was having a blast, and it was awesome.
yeah.
But things change. I'll never forget the day you told me, and I think I was maybe the first to know in the office. It was, I want to say June of 2006, maybe May, uh, that you were leaving.
It
And
would have been May. It would have been May that I probably would have told you, because I did start my new job in June.
okay,
So, but it amazes me your recall for dates.
it's
I
it's
don't
like
know how you do it.
it's like my useless. It's like the useless knowledge that I
Yeah,
have, and like this, like
superpower,
if you had
right?
a super,
Yeah,
if you had the lamest superpower, what would it be? That's mine. I can remember dates. I knew it was warm out. I knew it was like springtime, and I knew that I went outside after Damien told me and said, "Fuck, what am I gonna do?" Because my biggest fear. So you told me, right? And like I wasn't surprised at all. Like I was legit heartbroken. Um, because you seriously were. You were like I'm the oldest brother in my family, so you for me, you were like a big brother to me, and I looked up to you a lot. And like just the thought of you not being in that cubicle next to me, the thought of us not being able to throw the ball back and forth over the cubicle and just to goof around like we did, like that was like it was devastating. Like, and I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do now? But like I got it, man. Like you had a great opportunity, and I think you're still there to this day. We'll talk about that. But like I remember you telling me, and I think I was the first to know that you were leaving, and you told me, and I didn't say a word to anybody. That's also one of my things. I don't when people tell me secrets, it's safe with me. Um, but you got an opportunity to work for, and I hope I don't get this wrong, but Procter and Gamble.
yeah, correct.
Cool. And I got it. I mean, again, you're married, you had a kid, and you kind of needed that a better. I'm assuming you probably made more money, and you had more opportunity for growth and advancement, and yada yada yada. So it was like for me, it's like, yeah, I get it, but like, god damn it, what the hell am I gonna do? But talk a little bit about that. I mean, I feel like we didn't really talk about that. We you said you were leaving, where you were going, and before I knew it, you were on your way, and we really haven't talked since then. That was
Yeah,
a long time ago.
it was tough. It was tough at the time. Like you said, we were like brothers and sisters there. It was like leaving a family almost. I remember it was even just tough for me to tell you and tell Tiffany and everybody that I'm found. I have this opportunity, and I think it's like with the family. I think it's time to move on, and it really did make a change for the better. Like all the way throughout, and I'm still there this day. to this day. So yeah,
15 years
it
later,
all
right?
kind of, yeah, 15 years later,
Are you running
doing
the show
something
now or what?
completely different than what's that?
I said, are you running the show now or what?
Running the show up there?
Yeah.
Not quite. Not quite. Not quite. I'm part of a team, so like, like we all do it together.
Yeah.
It is a good, it is a good place to work, to work with. You get on a good team, you get with a bunch of good guys, and it makes it a lot easier up there. So just like everywhere else.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it takes, and that's what's important. So, like, what were you when you started there? 15 years ago. What were you doing?
Pretty much what I'm doing today. So uh working on I work in baby care, the baby care organization, and manage the process of a machine that makes diapers pretty much. Like I said,
Very
something completely different than than
yeah.
when we were at the weekender.
And I mean, I'm assuming you sought that job out or applied for it or whatever the case may be when you did. Um, again, it was completely different than what you were doing at the weekender, but obviously you saw it as a form of a future and stability and you know um, pay
Absolutely. Yeah.
structures and just. But I mean, again, like how did you? I mean, you went from creating graphic designs for advertisements and newspapers to kind of a production facility, correct?
Yeah, correct. So the way they generally do they open their applications every so often. So at the time my cousin was working up there, and he told us that, you have an opportunity to come up here, and we knew through him like how good of an opportunity it was to make the move. So we just put everything in motion, and kind of saw the way that went. There was a online part, and then had an interview, and that went very well. So
I mean, did you have like a background for that? I mean, or did you just like, hey, I'm a smart guy, I'm a hard worker, I'll
no,
figure it out?
no, but nobody has a background in what I'm doing right now. Everyone kind of comes in brand new, and you learn on the job, and you hope you get with a bunch of good guys that'll want to teach you everything and show you. So
Yeah,
yeah, no, I mean, nobody has anything that's going to lead into that job beforehand.
yeah, that's cool. And I mean, obviously, it was the right move.
Yeah,
You're still there today, and obviously, you're doing well. So
absolutely.
congratulations. And it was
Yeah,
like I said, it was awful for me to see it go, but obviously I'm happy for you, and I'm glad you're still there. And because I knew when you were talking about it, like you had a
yeah,
vision for what that future could be, and obviously you're still on track. So
yeah. But definitely no beach beach volleyball cubicle volleyball up there.
no, no, it's funny. Like
Which you were surprisingly like if you could have made money off of that, I think you could have possibly went
pro what volleyball?
pro cubicle volleyball,
Oh,
not pro volleyball, pro
well, yeah,
cubicle
yeah.
volleyball.
That's what I meant. Yeah, of course. I forget how it even worked out. Kind of, I guess we just kind of batted it back and forth, right?
just just organic,
Yeah.
just happened to where just batting it back and forth, and then eventually we came up with roles, and
Oh man, what a great time! It's funny because like I
yeah,
never, it was a different world when you were there, and when I started compared to when I left, and I never thought that I'd have like that kind of like atmosphere or that vibe or whatever you want to call it again in my life. And I left in 2013, and just recently I started with the company Axelrad. screen printing, and I kind of got that back again. I mean, from a standpoint like, even like for lunches, we all like, it's killing my wallet, but we all like get lunch together. We all like, it's like
Yeah, oh, yeah,
10:30, where it's like 10:30 and the text goes around saying, "Yo, where's lunch today? Like, what are we doing? Where are we
yeah.
going?" Um, but
I
it's
believe I believe when I was at the Weekender, I probably ate my paycheck while I was there. Like
yeah,
I said, I was always just in the cubicle. I'd get a message being like, "Where are we going for lunch today?" And it'd be La Tolteca, or if Katie had her choices, probably like Red Robin or something like that.
yeah,
Never a cheap lunch.
never, never. That's what we do. That's what happens now at Axelrad. Like, we all keep saying we gotta start like bringing lunch in, and just like we can still hang out and eat lunch together and bullshit, but like, I don't know, there's something about the food that's already made for you, and you know it's just not, it's bringing your lunch from home kind of is boring.
Yeah, I'm too lazy to put together something earlier anyway, so
Well, I
it's just easier to grab something.
I make my wife lunch every day, every
Look at
morning.
you.
Yeah,
Look at you. Absolutely.
husband of the year right here. Keeps me out of the doghouse. But I do.
Absolutely.
I wake up, I get her lunch ready, I get our son ready, I walk him to the door, and then I get ready. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how I got roped into that. I don't. I mean, when I started doing that, I didn't have to work for it anymore. Like, I didn't have to start.
Are you paying something back or
I
something?
don't
Like,
know
did you do
what's going
something in
on.
the past? It's like,
I have no idea how that even started.
yeah.
I really don't. I really don't even know how it started. Now that I think about it, I have no idea how it
And
started
she's
off.
probably
Actually,
and she's probably very quiet about it too. It's like, I don't want to, like disturb this too much, and just kind of not mention it. Just let it keep going. Like, she's
there's
got a good thing going on there.
there are days. There are days that she's like, "Oh, this is for lunch," and I'm like, What? Say it again. Did you make it?"
Rocking the boat.
Yeah. Well, actually, recently she's been doing like, we are on a Mediterranean diet now.
Hmm.
So we typically we plan out more meals, and then like she'll make stuff the day prior. So she's actually making it now. I just kind of put it together, you know. But yeah, yeah. This is my life now.
So you're taking it from the refrigerator and putting it in her lunchbox. Is what you're
Yes. Well, now this
is is what? Oh, okay. All right.
no,
Well, all
no,
right.
hold up. Recently, this is
Now,
this is
no,
like
it's making a lot more sense now.
this is within the last like 4 months. Prior to that, I was making sandwiches. Like, I was like legit putting
Okay.
things together, and sending her on the way, like a kid going to school. But I mean, let's be honest, my wife is way too hot for me, so I kind of have to like make sure that I prove my
Are
worth.
you putting are you putting little pictures and notes in her lunchbox the way Tiffany's doing for her daughters?
I am not, but how about that? Those are actually really creative.
How? Oh, I love them. I love them. I look forward to them.
I know it's like
I didn't realize I didn't realize she was that creative and that talented.
Did you see the pictures of her kids for Halloween where they were the those witches, the Hocus
The
Pocus?
Hocus Pocus.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah. I
yeah,
always wondered, like when that third daughter was coming out, like when she found out she was having that third daughter,
yeah.
like what that must have felt like for her. Be like, oh,
She's
I
like,
cannot wait.
yes,
Start putting
yes.
that together. Hocus Pocus.
Well, she was saying like she didn't want to like force like costumes, like, or no, she wanted to have her kids like have individual costumes, but they kept like wanting to do um like joint stuff.
Hmm.
She's like, well, enjoy it now, because when you don't want to do it, we're gonna do it, and we're gonna do Hocus Pocus. It was funny because that whole back row, like that cubicle row, it was Tiffany, me, and you, and I feel like we were all
Hmm.
like really close. And um, even to this day, she said you were one of the first people that she saw when she moved back into town at church. I think it was.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Her, we had a CCD. We were doing CCD together.
Right.
So,
Yes.
well, her daughters are in a lower grade, but my daughter was going, at the same time, and we all kind of meet in a gymnasium, and then she comes walking in. I'm like, oh, I guess Tiffany's back in town now. So
Yeah. What are you doing here?
that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we'd have like the family days where everyone kind of had to, meet in the basement, and like either she'd come down or like I'd come down and have like the table set up already, like go do our thing together.
Yeah. How old's your kid now? Well, I could do the
My
math.
son is 16.
Jesus.
Well, I just gave you the number.
I know. Well, no,
My son, my
I could do the
son's
math.
16.
I could do the math in my head.
Okay.
Like I knew when he was being born. I said that in the beginning of this
You
podcast.
know what this reminds me of right here? You and Amanda were giving me a ride home the one night from wherever, but it could have been only 3 minutes from my house, and I'm like, okay, you just take it. He's like, no, give me your address. I have a new GPS. I want to use it. I'm like, but I could like make the left and then you go straight and then nope, nope. What's your address?
Me?
Literally like
I don't remember this at all.
literally like a 45-second ride to my house. You're like, give me your address. I want to use this GPS. I just got a new GPS. Give me your address.
I don't remember any of this. Maybe I should
We
not have been
might have
talking.
been. It was it was so close. It might have been like Carrie's Pub or something like that, where it's like right down the road.
Wow, how am I not remembering
Yeah.
this? Wow.
It's just weird some of the things you remember. I remember that, and I gave you his age, and you're like, wait, I want to do the math. Nope.
Well, I was mad at myself. I'm like, oh, how old is he? And then meanwhile, a half hour ago, I told you the date of the month that he was born. It was October 2004.
That's right. October
I can't
1st,
do
2004.
I can't do the math in my head because I'm stupid.
Yeah,
That's
that's fine.
funny.
That's fine. Well, he's 16 now, and my daughter Mara is 12.
So, wow, I'm losing track of time. I don't know that I knew that the second one came. I don't know, dude. I'm losing my
Yeah,
mind. Well,
that's
good
why
for
you're
you.
doing this, though.
That's what exactly. That's part of like it's two reasons. It's a selfish reason because I wanted to have this documented because I'm forgetting now. My life is full of um, dinosaur names and Blippy, and now Peppa Pig, and so all the fun stuff that I had in my youth is being pushed out to
Hmm.
make way for this nonsense that my nonsense quote unquote that my kid enjoys.
Yeah,
So
it's all the stuff that really matters right now.
yeah, so
It's
I wanted to
so
have
all
like
that other stuff that was a completely different life we led at one time, and
yeah,
now the good stuff's happening.
it's the best. But I mean I wanted to also have just this conversations because we have not done this in 16 years.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to see where you were, what you're doing, make sure that you're good. I'm here. I'm here for you. I'm here to talk and listen, whatever you want to do.
Actually, Christy Greer credits Murphy as being first uh, the first weekender baby. So I think I was the first person that actually had a baby while working at the weekender.
Oh, see, I took that as like you guys conceived at Murphy's. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, take it
At
for what you will.
Murphy's.
I mean, that's what you said. Weekender baby. Thought maybe
Yep.
that's where it happened.
No, definitely. Yeah, definitely not there. How could that happen? She didn't have a badge to swipe to get into the building. How would that even happen?
Who?
My wife.
What are you talking about? I'm
What are
talking
you
about.
talking
I'm talking
about?
about conceiving at Murphy's.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant conceiving at the Weekender,
Oh no, no.
since he was the first Weekender baby.
Didn't you
My
just say
son's
something
name
about?
is Murphy. My
Oh,
son's
see,
name is Murphy.
uh, there's a bar in Sawyersville called Murphy's.
I know there is. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Okay. We're back on track. We're back on track.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So,
Hit
okay.
hit record now.
All right. But you could have let her in.
Hmm.
Wasn't hard to get in. You just walk down the steps, open the
I'm
door.
not a rule breaker like that. I'm not a
Dude,
rule breaker like that.
I mean, I was in that building after hours, not doing anything wrong. But like, I remember me and T Stein were hanging out there with Polly before we went. We were doing a story. We're doing a uh, all access. We did Panacea all access in. And you may still have been there, maybe not, but in at Corkscrews in Dunmore. We started a column called All Access where we would travel with the bands,
Yeah.
and I thought that was 2006. It started right.
Yeah. Yeah. I was there. I was there at the time. I remember Rachel did Rachel did one with Spitcan, I believe.
Yeah. Yes. And for those of you listening, I have an interview with Nick Duvall from Spitcan. If you want to go back in the archives and listen to that one,
Oh, nice.
she also did one of Scott Van Fossen and Fighting Zero. Conveniently,
Is that right? Look at her.
she'll probably kill me for that one.
Are you
That's
gonna be
okay.
talking to her?
Yeah, man, I told you. Like, I wanted to kind of save her for last because, like, so the Weekender, and you're kind of guilty of this, and not on, I'm sure it's not on purpose, but like the Weekender was always kind of seen as like the stepping stone, stepping stone, and this kind of like just you know part of the journey, you know, or whatever you want to call it, like a holding pattern before they actually like started their lives for real, like got a real job and did real things. So people there for a year, people there for, I mean, Leslie was there for 8 or 9 months, which you know, I know that if I counted up the months, but like it didn't feel like she was there for only 9 months. It felt like she was there longer. But a lot of people used it as a stepping stone. They were there for a year, they were there for 2 years, they got sales experience, they got this experience or whatever it might be, and they would go on their way. But for, you know, me and Rachel and obviously Mikey G, um, there were a few of us that were there for quite a long time. And I was there for, if you include my internship, I was there for 9 years. So I wanted to save her for last, but I feel like I gotta talk to her soon because, like, I'm sure she has great stories that need to be shared.
She's probably got story. She's probably got story after story, especially
She
dealing
has
with
stories. She has stories that she can't
advertisers and
tell.
stuff.
She's got stories that she can't even tell. I know that for a fact.
Uh,
But yeah, I mean, she was.
you're gonna have to do a a different podcast, like a private podcast or something like that to get those stories out.
I'll just have to like meet her in person. Which who wants to do that these days? COVID. Can't meet people in person.
Stupid COVID.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
was your life affected? I mean, obviously you're in manufacturing, so like, I'm assuming that um, the 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 band must play, the show must go on.
absolutely. So I believe my job got on it right away. You know, they've been doing really good up there, but I've been working the entire time. Very, you know, blessed to be doing that,
Yeah.
to be working during all this. But I mean, other than you know, going out for dinner, or going to see a movie or something like that. But we've been trying to do our part and hunkering down, you know. But other than that, like I've been able to work all through it.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's a scary time. I mean, I always say I never thought we'd be living through a pandemic, and for a full year, and still even past that.
I don't think anybody ever thought that, you
Yeah,
know, like
2
throughout
weeks,
history. It's like, yeah,
2 weeks, flatten the curve, no big deal.
yeah, yeah.
My
But
favorite
we are where
memories.
we are, and I feel like we'll be turning the corner pretty soon. And I mean, not necessarily getting back to like 100% normal, but I feel like we're moving in a right direction at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I mean, um, the world has to, and yeah, I mean, you have kids. I mean, how has that been for you with kids who were in school?
Well, they've been doing well, they had to do the hybrid where they were doing well, we were completely online at one time. And then we moved to a hybrid situation where they were doing half of it, you know, on Google Classroom, and then going half the time, which is kind of like where we're at right now. So, like for instance, my son he'll do online Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then do in class on Thursdays and Fridays. But my daughter had every kid has the option to go full time if they want to. So she's going 5 days a week.
And
And then after Easter, everyone's going to be going 5 days a week.
right, what I mean, how did you guys
But
work it?
it's been it's been a struggle,
Yeah,
you know, you know, it's not for everybody, you know. Like there's definitely kids that have to be, you know, in the classroom, you know, that they need that one-on-one, you know. Like
structure.
my son's been doing well with it, and he's been taking AP classes, so he's, you know, online. uh
That's good.
like every kid's different, every kid's different, and it's, you know, doing what we have to do, kind of.
Yeah, yeah. I thought my wife and I were talking the other day. The CDC says you can go from 6 feet to 3 feet now, right?
Hmm.
And let's think about. And I'm not politicizing this in any way. I'm This is just common sense talking, and this is just kind of like for fun here. They say 3 feet. Now, if I was closer than 3 feet to you, that would be pretty close. I'd be invading your personal space at that point. So I don't understand why we
Oh,
even.
pretty, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, like basically you have this 3 foot like circumference around you, like this bubble,
Yeah,
this line that you don't cross. So it's just kind of
you're
interesting how.
you're basically saying like no one should ever be 3 feet from from another person.
Yeah, you
It's
should
like,
never be closer than that,
yeah, you
ever.
have like your little hula hoop,
Yeah, exactly,
kind of.
exactly. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously everyone's learning and they're adapting as more information's available, and we kind of get through this and the safest way possible. But I just thought it was interesting and funny, kind of like okay, like we can go from 6 feet to 3 feet, and it's at that point it's like, well, why do we have to define 3 feet? Like we can probably just be like we can go back to normal because no one really should be closer than 3 feet next to you. So that's weird.
With a mask, though, with a mask.
Yeah, I mean, I'm vaccinated. Like, I am considered obese. For anyone who thinks that There's loopholes you can get. I according to my BMI, I am considered obese. So that falls under the guidelines, and I said, all right, well,
That's all those lunches at Axelrad.
it's, I well, I joke, I say, well, I got my first one before I even joined that team, but I joke and say that I have been preparing for this pandemic for the past 5 years. I knew it was coming, and I thought, you know what, it's going to come, and in order to get vaccinated, I need to be fat. So I'm going to eat like shit and drink beer, and here we are. I'm obese.
You were shredded down at one time, weren't you? Weren't you doing kick like boxing or something like that?
It's really funny you should mention that, Damian. Yes, I was in the best shape of my life in 2013. And maybe things happen for a reason, and I'll tell you why. So that was 8 years ago. Got in the best shape of my life. I did world class boxing in Kingston, and it wasn't just like boxing. I didn't go and get my face punched in. I went. We did boxing routines on the heavy bags, and we also did like cardio. We also did some light weight uh, weight stuff as well. And I did that for 20 weeks, and I got in the best shape of my life. I think I almost had a six pack. I was down to 176. I started at 199, and I got cut up. But it also sucked because, in addition to working out every single day, 5 days a week, I also weighed my food. I also watched everything I ate. I drank 1 day a week, and it was only 2 drinks, and they were vodka drinks. It was a miserable existence. And my wife kept
Hmm.
saying, at the time she was my fiance, no, she was my girlfriend. She kept saying this isn't sustainable, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't care. They're paying me to do this. I'm gonna do it. And I did it. I fulfilled my obligation of the program. But again, yeah, it was not sustainable. Like I got off of it, and maybe I didn't go back immediately as far as like eating like shit or drinking. It progressed over time, but yeah, it's just that's a lifestyle. I mean, that's a real
Oh,
like.
absolutely.
But I mean, what's funny because just today's Wednesday. We record this on a Wednesday. Monday of this week, my trainer and owner of World Class Boxing, Sean Diggs, calls Axelrad screen printing. I see it on the caller ID. I see it say Sean Diggs. I answer it. I said, Axelrad, this is John. He's like, hey, I'm looking for shirts and blah blah blah. And he's like, I have a gym, and I said, oh, what gym do you have? He says, World Class Boxing in Kingston. And I said, yeah, we're not going to print for that trash gym. We're not going to do that. And he just like got quiet. And he goes, oh, really? And like, so here's me.
He
I'm
was
like, this.
probably he was probably trying to figure a way to reach through the phone to pull you through it at that point.
So yeah, so he had no idea it was me, right? And I had to feel him out to find out. I'm like, this has to be him. There's no other Sean Diggs in the valley. But so that's why I asked what gym it was. And but then I'm like, shit, like if he doesn't know it's me, because he just kind of went silent. He goes, oh yeah, really? And I'm like, hey, I don't want him to hang up on me because I don't have a way to get a hold of him. I have a cell phone, but I didn't know if it was the same number. Um, so I had to like give up the whole prank early. And he's like, oh really? I'm like, yeah. I said, dude, it's Popko. He's like, holy shit, I had no idea you were there. What's going on? Blah blah blah. So like we're gonna do shirts for him, and I'm like, maybe I should get back into that. So it's just funny that you brought that up and that happened.
Yeah, that's like a whole lifestyle change, like you're saying with like weighing out your food and stuff. It's not for the
It's
lighthearted.
fucking miserable.
Yeah.
Absolute miserable thing. Like, so I don't know how food is for you. Food for me, and I think maybe because of my lifestyle for the past, I don't know how many years, but like lunch for me has been like my only place of silence, so to speak. When I was working in radio, like they gave you an hour lunch, which I'm like, that's stupid. I don't want an hour lunch, but they made you work from 8:30 to 5:30. So I'm like, if you're gonna give me an hour lunch and I can't leave a half hour early if I take a half hour lunch, then I'm gonna take an hour lunch. So I'd sit there I would go for lunch and I would enjoy my food. So it was one of those things where like it's like it was at the time my only hour of the day that was like for me. There was
Yeah.
no job, no work, no wife, no kid, no nothing. It was just me and my food. But uh, yeah, so maybe I've developed some kind of like unhealthy relationship with food.
I
I'll,
believe I'm there too.
it's just so good. Like
Like sometimes yeah, sometimes you just can't drive past Burger King without grabbing a cheeseburger, you know?
it's
It's just
quick,
one of
it's
those things.
easy. You know, it's not like
Yeah.
you make that food before, like the day before. It's like it's you heat it up. It's not the fucking same. It's garbage.
Yeah.
You can taste it.
The best I the best I ever did was I tried to do like a pescatarian.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm only eating pretty much like vegetables and fish, and you can't necessarily like just pick up fish anywhere, you know. It's
Right.
kind of keeps you away from those places. Mediterranean's like that though, I believe.
Yeah, and that's what we've been on. And yeah, it's a lot of fish, a lot of white meat. So you can do pork, you can do chicken, but it's like yeah, primarily fish and a lot of the same seasonings, olives. I mean, it's good. I mean, the food's good. I mean, I'll give it that, but it's just like it's not Burger King. And I so I did a review for McDonald's and their new crispy chicken sandwich. It was good, right?
I'll tell you what, it worked, man. You sent me right out there to grab one.
Oh yes, yes.
Yep.
All right. So I had a bunch of people go out.
Congratulations, because I'm sure that was that was the whole idea.
Yeah, exactly. I had a bunch of I had Joe Cavison called me out on social media, said like, oh, I have to give it a number, blah blah blah. So that was a lot of fun. We had fun with it. But like, so then I had people come at me and say like, dude, like you're wrong. You gotta try Popeyes. And I've been like the it was number 8 for a long time. I think it might be number 10 now. This is not doing well for me speaking about this. At Wendy's, I was the Asiago spicy chicken sandwich at Wendy's. I love that sandwich. It was hands down for me the best sandwich that I've had. Then I had uh Chick-fil-A, also very good. Then I had the one from McDonald's, very good also. But they're like, "Oh, you got to try Popeyes." So I'm like, "Ah, how much better could it possibly be?" So I go, "Holy shit, dude. Have you
Right?
had a spicy chicken sandwich from Popeyes?"
Absolutely.
Holy
Absolutely.
shit, dude. That was the best sandwich I've ever had.
That's yeah.
I'll tell McDonald's.
Yeah, you got to do the review with all three of them or all four of them. You know, take a bite out of this one, take a bite out of that one.
I should.
Like I was wondering, did you try that Popeyes yet? When you did
Before
that,
before
when you
McDonald's?
did
No.
when you did the McDonald's.
No. No, I had
No,
not. I
you
had
had no
not.
idea.
I had I didn't. I'm probably going to Popeyes tomorrow now. I didn't. I had no idea. I went days later and I'm like, holy shit. Now, thankfully, the local ownership of McDonald's probably won't watch this or listen to it. But my love for McDonald's will does not change. I said in my review that especially that location I went to was the one on the San Sui Parkway in Hanover. My grandmother and I used to go there after church on Sundays. So that McDonald's in general, and that location specifically has like a special place in my heart because my grandmother's no longer here, and it was a lot of fun remembering, her and going there with her after church on Sundays.
Building memories through burgers. That's exactly what they want you to do.
Ah, yes. But Popeyes, dude, yeah, Popeyes was.
Oh
Oof.
yeah.
I I haven't had it since. I've been holding back. Maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. I can't eat meat on Friday because my wife will kill me. Tomorrow's Popeyes.
And then the gym on Saturday, right? And then the gym on Saturday.
For those of you listening, I'm winking at Damien right now. Yes, the gym on Saturday. Well, I told
Yep.
Sean, I'm like, yo, let's. And there's guys at the office that are also like, we're not overweight. And I mean, I don't feel like I'm obese. I don't think I look obese, but like, I could definitely afford to lose some weight. Um, there's a few of us at the office that like, hey, we'll go do the boxing stuff. Might be fun.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat though. I got both of my vaccinations. Same thing, you know,
Obese,
obese.
obese brothers.
Yeah,
Yeah, what's up?
right.
Ah! Yeah.
Like you say,
So
been getting ready for it.
people have said to me like, oh, you got it because your wife works at Geisinger, and then people will be like, what for whatever. I'm like, no, like that's not how it works. Like, I had to like I had a doctor's appointment like 3 days prior to like when they changed the who can get it the first round, and my wife is a pharmacist. She believes in vaccines and medicine and science, and I remember I said to her after my appointment that I'm like, oh yeah, well yeah, everything went great. My blood pressure is great. Everything's good. But I am, by the way, obese. So I hope you enjoy being with an obese man. And I guess that stuck with her like a week later because she said, like, what was your BMI again? And I said what it was, and she's like, okay, well, you qualify for the vaccine. And I'm like, whoa, hold on, why do I qualify? She's because I'm fat, and she's like, well, yeah. And I said, oh, great, okay, well, sign me up. But yeah, it's pretty wild out
Yeah,
there.
my buddy told me he got the first round of the vaccine. I said, did you tell him out? Did you tell him you were fat? Because that's what I said. I was fat. So
Yeah, I mean, we're all fat. I mean, obese is a little disturbing. I mean, I don't think you're obese. I mean, that beard is pretty sweet.
absolutely, yeah. Oh, thanks,
That
brother.
beard is pretty
Same.
sweet.
Right back at you.
Now, mine's not
Right
that
back
sweet.
at
Like
you.
mine's that's a solid beard you got there.
Yeah, I just got it taken care of yesterday
It looks like it.
at
Where'd you get it?
Loyalty.
Oh yeah, in Scranton.
Loyalty up in Scranton. Yeah,
Who'd you go to?
Kirsten.
Oh, okay.
Kirsten.
Is it Kirsten or Kristen?
Oh, this is only my second time with her. I feel bad now.
It might be Kristen. She won't be mad at you.
It
Don't
might
worry.
be Kristen.
It
Oh,
might be
okay.
Kristen.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Until
I
I go
think.
back and then she cuts it half of it off.
Yeah, she might. I'm gonna tell her.
What's my name?
What
What's my
did
name?
you? Yeah, she's cool. She used to be a bartender. She might still be at the V Spot, and she started working there maybe like 2 years ago. I'm trying to find her now. It could be Kirsten. I think it's Kristen, but whatever. But I
Yeah,
almost
I told her I had the podcast with you. She's like, "Oh, we love Johnny." She said we bought the t-shirts, Popko Project, and
really.
yeah, she had nothing but she had nothing but good things to say. Nothing but good things.
Where's yours at?
My shirt.
Yeah, where's yours?
Oh, I believe it's on its way.
The check's in the mail.
Checks in the mail.
The check's in the mail. Oh fuck, that's funny. So what else is new? I mean, like you're you got your career, your wife, kids. I mean, what's on the horizon for Damion Pick?
Just waiting for all this stuff to get over with so we could get back to normal. Right before COVID hit in November, uh, the family did a trip to Italy, which is absolutely amazing. We talk about it to this day, just wanting to go back. Funny thing is that Italy was never on our radar, and now it's kind of like got a little spot in our heart, and that's where everything kind of broke out in December, and you know
Right. So in 2019, you went to Italy.
2019
Okay, and then that kind of started.
2019 went to Italy, and then everything started happening in
Yeah,
December.
yeah,
Working its way
yeah.
everywhere, pretty much. But yeah,
Was it cool
Italy
there?
was unbelievable.
Yeah,
We definitely see us going back.
yeah. I'm not the world traveler. I wish I was more, especially when I was younger. And I mean, there's still time once hopefully things get back to normal. But um, that sounds. I mean, I've heard great things, obviously, and Italy, Ireland, that's awesome.
Yeah, Ireland's on our radar too. So I mean, it's always been. I actually thought I'd probably go to Ireland before we went to Italy, but a deal popped up, and we just couldn't pass it up in November. It's kind of
Yeah.
like the off season.
See, I'm kind of like a beach guy. I mean, I had the body for it, so I'm like, why should I deprive people of this body by like not going to a beach? So like
Yeah,
I'm a big beach guy, right? I have super tan skin. My body is the physique is phenomenal. Um,
absolutely.
yeah, I mean, so that's why I hit the beach. I mean, I can't
Well,
really
I
put.
mean, you could always go. There's a lot of like fine art in Italy. You could always go and possibly model for somebody. I'm sure
Sure, you know
they'd
what?
probably they'd probably pick you right off the street.
Yeah,
Right off the street.
yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
But all seriousness, when we go on vacation, well, when we used to, even before our child, because like we tried to do a lot with him, but it's a lot of family stuff. It's a lot of like, um, just the normal family stuff, right? But before that, we didn't do much outside. We the biggest trips were like Bahamas and shit like that, just because like, we like the beach. But
yeah.
like I I feel like Italy and that stuff is just like kind of a little scary for me.
At this stage of the game, yeah. This isn't something that we would have probably done.
Well, no, I'm
Well,
saying
well,
like
your son.
pre-COVID,
How old is your son?
he's just 3.
Oh, yeah. But your son's 3 years old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'm saying even before my
That
son,
would
before
be
COVID,
that
like
would be quite. Oh, even before all that, you wouldn't even.
it just wasn't on my radar. Like I feel like it just like intimidating.
Yeah,
I wouldn't know.
like I said, it wasn't on ours either. But
Yeah.
this deal popped up, and we flew into Milan. From Milan, it's a 3-hour drive to where we were staying in Montecatini, which is like the Tuscany area. And just every day, just visiting, someplace new. Like we got to see the Colosseum. Um, got to see the statue of David. Just just kind of trolling around there.
Can I pause here for
It's
one moment?
beautiful. Sure.
1 second. All right. Hopefully we're back. Are you there?
Back at it.
All right. Good.
Yeah. I'm here.
Good. Yeah, I had to pee. Sorry. Little pee break.
I tried to stay still,
Like we
it
froze.
was like stop animation. I tried to stay still. Yeah,
Yeah, like we froze.
I probably didn't do well.
I came back and your face was turned the other way. I'll tell you what, it's getting warm out. Thankfully, I came home today and
Yeah.
no heat. The furnace would not turn on.
That's the worst.
Yeah, yeah. So thankfully,
That's the
it's
worst.
it's this time of year and not the dead of winter. But yeah, so we bought a new house back in August of last year, and beautiful house. And I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, but like it's like there's all these things that are just like nickel and diming us to death. Like, and it's a new. It's only 17 years old. Um, but yeah, it's just like it's always something with this fucking house.
Yeah, it is. It's never ending. When I start when I started at the Weekender, I was we bought our house as like a handyman helper. So tore it down to the studs and pretty much built it all back up. And it's always been, just one more thing here, one more thing there. Like we finished our basement a couple of years ago. That's where I'm at right now. And this last summer, everyone kind of had the bug to start doing home projects, and we put in a patio out back, working on putting a paver patio with the retaining wall and the
Nice.
pergola, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it never ends, and it doesn't matter how new your house is. There's always something you got to do with it.
Well, you know, so we bought a house August of last year, like I said, and so we came in, we viewed the house. The woman was still living there at the time. So she was obviously wasn't there, but so we came in, looked at the house, like we love it, everything we want. So it was the day of closing. We're moving our stuff in. She had this huge like entertainment center along the one wall. And we walk in the day of closing, all of her stuff's out. She painted around the fucking entertainment center. And it's this huge wall. It was this huge entertainment system.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the corner, another wall. It was like a small like bookshelf type thing, also painted around. And I was pissed. I'm like, I wanted to paint this room anyways, but you took
Mm-hmm.
my timeline from like I'll get to it in like the next month to now I have to do this right now. I can't invite people over my house and say, yes, this is our new house with this fucking painted around fucking entertainment center. And it was just one thing after the next with this lady. And she
Yeah.
had this beautiful home, but she just didn't take care of it. Like it just like yeah, I had to replace I'm not a handyman. I'm like the furthest thing from being a handyman. So one thing this house has done for me, which I'm thankful for, but also pissed off about, I've been able to learn how to do things on my own. I replaced faucets, which I almost threw up doing because I said the house is 17 years old. She probably had not like cleaned anything in 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
Those pipes were probably 17 years of gook.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
so I mean, but I did that on my own. I replaced two different faucets. I replaced several other things. We painted every room in this house except for the basement where I'm in now and two bedrooms upstairs. No, three bedrooms upstairs. But outside that, everything's redone. But again, it just expedited my timeline because I can't invite people to the living room. If it was a bedroom, fine. I don't care. Like I'll get to that. But the main room in the home, and it's outlined in different paint. But
when we first bought the house and we got in here, we were going through seeing like all the things we were going to have to do, which we pretty much knew it was going to be like tear all the walls down, just leave the studs up, and get in there and get all new stuff up in. So in the kitchen there was a window with a pull blind, just a regular like Venetian blind. So we pulled the blind up, and when you look out the window, you saw the backside of the siding. Like they just sided over. They just
Over
sided
the
over
window?
the window. Over the window. Yeah,
Wow.
and
The whole
that's the way
thing?
they hit it. They just put a blind. Yes, yes, the
The
entire
whole
window.
thing. Why would they do that?
Yes. It, why would that woman just paint around her entertainment center?
Um, yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, I mean, for me, it's like she she was divorced, so
Yeah,
I could see her not being able to move it. But she had two kids that probably could have helped her. But that just seems like bizarre. Like that's like an interior thing. Like if I'm paying
yeah.
someone to, well, if I did, maybe they did it themselves. Like,
Maybe that maybe that was her intention. She just didn't want that window there anymore. But I mean, didn't try to frame it out or like re-insulate it or anything like that. They just sided right over the side, right over the window.
okay,
It's kind of comical.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny how people. I just don't get it, but that's just me. But even
But
that's like,
yeah,
wow,
it's always something like this. This patio in the backyard was just going to start out with just a couple pavers. So we started going a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper, and then leveling it out, and then full retaining wall around it, and then everything's open. So one of my wife's friends come over, and they're like, it'd be nice out here, a pergola. Like, yeah, so I'm throwing in a pergola this weekend, I guess.
thanks for the
But all
work.
that stuff's done. I'm just waiting for good weather right now to button everything up out there. So
It only took you what, 16 years?
yeah, yeah, to get to the pergola.
But at least you knew going in.
That's
You're like,
it.
okay, this is the house.
Yeah,
We're gonna do work to it. I'm uncovering things I didn't.
yeah,
I'm not handy enough to
yeah,
take care of, and B, it's like this is not what I wanted.
yeah.
But
And then we'll revisit this, in 10 years and see what project you're working on at that time.
it won't be
Sure, it's going to be something.
it won't be something that I'm working on per se. It'll be something that I'm paying someone to fix because I can't do it myself. Because I'm a fucking idiot.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, the furnace is like
Yeah.
it's something's wrong with the furnace. Like it's I can't even remember they said it was. It's not a big deal, but like I don't have the part to fix myself. Whoa. Uh, so I gotta pay someone to come
That's
do
what
it.
YouTube's there for.
So I did that. I became proficient in using Google because before I was like, so to preface this, we bought a house that's bigger than what we had, um, and with that comes a bigger mortgage, right? So the joy of like, oh yeah, just pay someone to fix it is like that's not an option anymore. Like and I'm not handy. I'm an idiot. But now it's at least I'll at least Google it to see if I could like figure it out because I don't want to pay someone $100 to walk in the door. I did that, and it's like this. I don't know if it's like it's a ignition switch or it's a heat plate or something like that. It's not a piece that I carry. I don't have it on the inventory shelf in my basement, nor do like
Are
the
you
plumbers
sure?
themselves.
Check twice.
Yeah, the
Check
plumbers
twice. You might
themselves,
have it.
the plumbers themselves actually have to say, "Hey, send me the model and number and all that kind of stuff to make sure we have it in stock before we get there." So at that point, I'm like, okay, I did what I could. At least I figured out the problem. I know what it is. I just can't do it myself at this point. But I also paid $250 to have a guy come and vacuum my gas fireplaces. You want to hear the story?
It makes sense. I don't know how to do it.
Well, no one wants to hear the story, but I'm gonna tell you this. This is real, like real problems in the world. Like, so what I'm saying is, I like, yeah, I get it. These are not problems that I should be complaining about. But bought the house in August. We have a gas fireplace upstairs in the living room. We have a gas fireplace where I am downstairs in the basement. And so upstairs, turn that one on, runs for like 10 minutes. Once it gets hot enough, the blower starts going and it starts rattling really loud. And I'm an idiot. And I'm like, the blower sounds like the fan that blows the hot air. It sounds like the fan, like one of the fans are broken or something. So I call up somebody again. I'm like, I'm not going to touch it because I don't know what's going on. Knowing me, I will break this and ruin it further. So call up the place 5 minutes down the road. Hey, fireplace, think it's the blower, yada yada yada. Then they try telling me like, oh, we need to know the make, model, all this kind of stuff before we even come see it. And I said, well, I don't know, all of that. I said I know what the name on the side of the fireplace says, but that's about it. Okay, we'll get back to you. They don't get back to me. So I called 2 days later. They say, oh, yeah, we're working on it. We'll be in touch. So 3 months goes, no, sorry. 6 months goes by. The guy calls me back. Hey, we saw you guys inquired about this, that, the other thing. Want to see how we can help. I said, well, we're coming up in this season where I don't need the fireplace anymore. But if you want to come look at it, come look at it. The blower's shot or whatever's wrong with it. All right, we'll be by Wednesday. They come by. So the guy comes in and he's slow walking me. I tell him, it's the blower. Something's wrong with the fan on the blower. Again, I'm an idiot. I don't know that for sure, but like, heart of hearts,
And this
that's
is
what
exactly what he wants to hear from you.
I don't say I don't know anything, but I'm like, it's like,
He's probably thinking, well, if you know, hey, if you know, why don't you take care of it yourself?
I don't say I don't know anything. I just say like, hey, it's I think the blower's shot or something's wrong with it because
Yeah.
turn it on, it heats up, the blower starts going, and it gets loud, and it sounds like a broken part of the fan. So he's coming in. He comes in, and he's like, so he's grabbing the wood out of the fireplace, like all real slow. And he's like, oh, you see all these rocks that are around here? There should be more here. I'll take this out and I'll vacuum those out and make sure this is nice. He goes, do we need to paint the inside of this like this fireplace area? It might smell if you start the fire up and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, no, I don't want you to do any of that. I want you to fix the blower. Well, I gotta, do this and before I turn it on and let it get heated up. I gotta make sure I do these things because if I don't do that stuff and it's too hot, I can't get in there. I'm like, okay, that makes sense, right? It makes sense. You can't if you heat it up, you can't be sticking your hands in there. I get that. Okay. So he he brings his shop vac in. He's vacuuming the whole thing out. He's pulling the pieces of wood out, whole 9 yards. Then puts it all back together. And he goes, I felt the blower in the back. He goes, it was kind of like settled up against the back wall. And that can happen. Like the things can move. Maybe that'll help. Puts it all back together. Turns it on. And it's like I can hear the little tinging of the broken fan. That's what I think it is, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, it has to be louder than that, right? And I'm like, yeah, it was, and it'll get there. Just give it a minute. So we sit around, wait. And sure as shit, it starts getting real loud. So we shut it down. Eventually, so he puts his hand in the back, grabs the blower, is able to pull the blower out. And he's trying to dust the dust on the fan of the blower off at this point. And I'm like, I can see like it's like a rectangular piece. There's a fan on both sides. So he's attending this fan, and I'm like looking at this fan. This fan has like a broken like blade. I'm like, I think that fan has a broken blade. It's probably what it is. So we turn it on when it's outside of the fireplace, and
Hmm.
it's like warped. The whole fan is like warped. I'm like, I'm like, I fucking told you, dude. I'm like, I told you it was a fucking fan of the blower from the fucking beginning, and you're now. I didn't say all of this that I'm saying right now because like
Yeah.
I've had a few beers and you know I'm a respectable human being for the most part. So I'm like, God damn it. So we figure out, okay, it's the fucking blower. All right, well, all right. So when I get back to the office, I'll let you know what the price is for the blower. So let's go downstairs. So the downstairs fireplace, you turn it on. 30 seconds after you turn it on, it sets off the fire alarms in the entire house. So he's like, well, is it the fire alarms or is it the CO2? I'm like, listen, guy, I have CO2 detectors on the wall down here. I've got them on the first floor. I got them on the second floor. It's not the CO2. These are just fire. These are just smoke detectors. Okay. So he turns it on. They go off immediately. And he's like, well, you know, maybe you just have to burn off whatever's on the stove. He calls it stove. And I'm like, okay, well, sure. How long do you think? He's like, maybe about 30 minutes. This is all while I should be at work. I said to my boss, hey, I got to run home, unlock the door for the guy. He'll be in there for a half hour. I'll be right back. So yeah, we'll have to burn it off. So I open up all the windows and doors down the basement, turn on the fucking fire. The smoke alarm is going off the entire time. It's fucking blaring in my ear. I want to kill myself. And a half hour goes by. It's like, wow. So he comes downstairs. Like there's a haze in the downstairs area. So something's burning off. It's not gas. It's something's burning off. I don't know. I don't know what it is. He's like, well, we can do it for another 15 minutes to a half hour. I'm like, guy, I have to go back to work. I don't have time to be fucking with you on this fucking this unit here. So he gives me a bill. It's $250, 3 hours of work. Work. He leaves. Calls back. Got a price for you on the blower. Guess how much the blower costs?
Couple hundred.
$220. I'm like, guy, I'm already in this for 250 and you haven't done anything for me yet. You came in with your fucking vacuum cleaner and you vacuumed this shit off. I'm like, I said, I know you were here for that long. I know what you were doing, but I told you what it was. You fucking pussyfooted around. Well, I don't know what to tell you. It's going to cost you $220 for the blower. And it's going to cost us another $50 to come by and fucking put it in for you. So here I am. Fireplaces I
Yeah.
can't use.
When you start buying parts for appliances or anything like that, and you realize, well, should I buy this part or should I just buy a brand new appliance?
Well, I mean, the fireplace has to cost more than $220. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
Absolutely. But
Have you ever
but
broken
my
a
stove, the control panel on my stove went, and I was shocked at that price. I
yeah,
was
throw it away.
absolutely shocked.
Buy a new one.
Yeah,
Have you
but I was
ever
able to replace that. But if it ever goes again, I'm gonna have to buy a new stove.
broken the glass dish in a microwave?
No.
If you do, fucking buy a new microwave. That fucking glass that thing that sits on the fucking thing and
Yeah,
turns, that glass piece I think is $50.
no kidding.
Yep. So I
Yeah,
had to because like with the house that was near you in the Pringle area, that was mounted above the stove. So it wasn't like a microwave on a counter.
you
Like
just take it off and throw a new one on. Yeah, yeah,
it wasn't just like throw it away. Like it was
yeah.
mounted on it matched. Like the microwave was the same brand as the stove, the same brand as the dishwasher, same brand as the refrigerator. All same brand, all same color. So it wasn't like I can't just throw it away. I had to buy this freaking glass tray. I think it was $50. just for the glass tray.
They get you coming and going, right?
Every time. Every time.
Yeah.
Oh man. I feel like I feel like an asshole now talking about like all these problems I have in my beautiful home. I'm humble. I am. I appreciate the things I have. My wife's way too hot for me. My son is a great child, and my life is good. I don't want to
Yeah,
make it sound.
you met your wife at the you met your wife when you were at the Weekender, right?
I did. She was model of the week.
Yeah.
I had a couple
When you
models of
took
the week.
over marketing, you did something a little different with Model of the Week, didn't you? And
I
it was it like the model searches or something like
so
that,
no,
or
that was actually so Christina actually did the model searches.
okay.
I did away with them. So
Yeah.
for me, so it may have been a good thing and a bad thing for the model of the week. So I wanted to bring kind of how do I put this? Like not anyone could be model of the week. Like because when you had model searches, we like I feel like and I was part of them as an intern, like you would go out, you would like just like, hey, you model of the week? They'd be like, yeah, sure. And it's like click, all right, go on your way. I want it to be more exclusive. I wanted it to be more like if you're model of the week, it's like it's something. So I
Hmm.
really I kind of pulled it back and I started bringing the girls and guys. This is not just a sex thing. It was guys and girls, both model and man of the week, and brought them into the office where we would shoot them against like a white wall or a white backdrop. I don't know if you were still there at that point or if that was after you, but um, I feel like you were still I feel like you started that before you left.
I was still there. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
would
I was
you
still
would do
there.
cutouts,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
I wanted to bring them in, like, and I kind of like sought them out. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, you see them at a bar, say, hey, you want to be model of the week? Click, take a picture, and yeah, you're model of the week. I wanted to make it more exclusive and just kind of more classy in that, like, hey, if you're model of the week, it's not a joke. Like, you were either picked or you were sought out. Like, someone came up to you and said, hey, let's do this. And that was my goal behind that, was just to kind of make it more of a high end thing, I guess you could say. But yeah, so I
I
think it
don't
was a
think you
good and bad
realize
thing.
how I don't think you realize how much of an innovator you were though, because like we kind of you kind of had a database there, like we were. It seemed like a model was kind of like, oh, we got to get somebody this week, like do we have a model? But you kind of had like a whole database to pull from. It's like we're going to do this one this week, we're going to do this one this week, but you had like maybe about 20 to 25 like ready to go,
Well, I had to be a creep on Facebook and
which
social media.
which you found your wife this way. I mean, like you were like way ahead of the curve there.
Yeah, I'm.
You created your own little app to
I created my little
like a
Rolodex of women.
like a like a little wife finder.
What? Well, the funny thing is, she was a model of the week in 2006, right? And um, I don't know if it was when you were still there. And she was like, I think she was at a model search, so she may have been model of the week when you were still there. But she showed up at the model year party in '06, was not 21 yet, so she couldn't like partake in the fun festivities. Her boyfriend at the time went down to Club Evolution, or no, not Club, the stream side. It went down with his buddies and were drinking. So this motherfucker left her by herself, and she was like standing in the lobby of the Woodlands, and me and the guy that replaced you, Steve Houston, saw her, and we're like, "Yo, are you cool?" Because you could just like she was like beautiful girl by herself, like just like not just kind of like sad, like she was upset, you know. And she's like, "Oh yeah, whatever. Like my boyfriend's downstairs, yada yada yada." And I'm thinking to myself, douche. Fucking douche. That was '06. So then she was a model of the week again in 2007. No. It must have been 7. I forget what happened. But I met her again. And I forget exactly how it played out. Shit. Maybe it was 7 and she came to the party in '07. I forget. But I remember saying, "Oh yeah, you can now. You're gonna be 21. You can hang out and party. It'd be cool." I think she broke up with her boyfriend towards the end of '07, and then her and I started dating in '08, like spring of '08. I forget how it worked out, but yeah, I mean, there were a couple of girls. I wouldn't say I'm an innovator, but like, no, I just wanted to make it more exclusive, and it's more like, okay, like, not anybody can be model of the week. I wanted to be like, and then like we had interns too, so it's like, hey, like if you have girlfriends that are pretty, like if you have guy friends that are good looking, like get them, like let's make this like a legit model and man of the week, not like, because there was a time where like, they would literally be taken out at the Woodlands, even the picture, and they'd be like,
Yeah.
go look how I look right now, drunk, and like it becomes like kind of a joke. But then it became and I thought that would be more like people would respect it more and say, okay, well the model and man of the week aren't a joke. It's done well, it looks good, and all that kind of shit, and that people would want to be more involved in it. And that's not really how it worked either.
And then that model and man of the year party that year. I don't know if you remember, but it was like a red carpet. We made it like a red carpet event
Yeah.
where like the come walking up with the backdrop, and we had Jim Cavanis shooting like shooting actual pictures, and then me over on the side with my digital camera with no film in it or anything like that, just another flash, just kind
Yeah.
of like trying to make paparazzi type deal. Like we made it we made it fun like that, We're like over here, yelling their names and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was a good
Yeah.
time.
I remember we did the concert for Katrina um at the staircase in Pittston. The not the old staircase in Pittston, the new staircase in Pittston, which is now Advanced Arms, I believe it is. We did a big benefit there with Breaking Benjamin, and you were there. You were taking photos of that event, and I think I still might have some of those photos in a box somewhere.
Like actual film
Like
photos that was taken.
actual, yeah, like actual 4x6 photos. Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because you were. I remember you being there for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember that. I do remember being like right up front taking pictures and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
kinda.
No, you were there. I remember that very well. I remember
Yeah.
I remember I could picture you in my head walking through the crowd and like kind of like, hey, I'll see you later. I take pictures now and go. And I just entered. That was '05. That Katrina happened, and I think we did that in September or October of that year. And we did a lot of good too at the Weekender. It was such a force of fun and a force for good too. Like people think we just kind of like lack of a better term, jerked off all day. Like I mean, we did a lot of great things there. Like a lot of benefits and a lot of um, just good positive things for the local band scene and just all that kind of stuff. It was just great. It was a great thing. I wish there was a way to get something like that back, and I don't think that there is because of social media and things like that. But
That would be so tough. I look back at some old issues, and we'd have like the page count was just absolutely ridiculous. And I think maybe like the last weekender I looked at, it was almost like a pamphlet.
yep,
but like you said, with social media, everyone's able to just throw on like, yeah, we got this going on, like tonight, and
Yeah.
I just couldn't imagine the amount of money we actually made for the
Yeah, and the budget that they gave us for to do fun stuff is just
yeah.
what a shame. And I think had they treated that product properly, um, and then there's even a time in the lifespan of that where they wanted us to move to a more of a digital, like, okay, so here's the Weekender print publication, but like check out theweekender.com for online exclusives. Great idea, right? It's like, oh, like, well, are you gonna give us tools to create online content? Well, no. Use that fucking, I don't know, was it 35 millimeter fucking camera that you had? Like, use that for the online content. It's like,
One that's soaked in beer and it's been dropped about 60 times.
it's not, that's not gonna work, dude. Like, what are you doing? Like, and we had great ideas. We started a thing called Weekender Sessions that was like a great thing for, it was an online component, and that's it lived online, and that could have been an exclusive thing and drove traffic to the website and blah blah blah. But they just didn't want to. That was a shoestring budget. We utilized an intern who was working for free. We utilized a guy in the company that was like working at Times Leader who would like just donate his time just because he liked doing it. And it's just like you can't keep doing that. But hey, that's why you no longer print or have a website to really utilize either. So what are you gonna do?
That's true. That's very true. Like I said, like maybe the last Weekender I saw might have been, a handful of pages, and I just think of all the hard work we put into, some of those page counts. I believe like 96. It's
96.
not
Yeah,
some
there
of
was
maybe
there
like
was,
that.
there was one publication, um, and Rachel remember this. I don't know what it was, but like we had a sales initiative, and we reached it and pushed past it, and we actually had to add pages to the Weekender. So 96 was the max amount of pages it can be, and we had to, I think, add I think 12 more. I forget what it was, but it was sales driven, but yeah, it was over 100 pages, which was like, the biggest Weekender in Weekender history. I was a part of it,
Yeah,
which was really neat.
I don't remember. I I don't remember a 100 pager. So
You weren't there for that,
yeah, yeah,
but
I was not. I was not there for that. I just think back like to the Reader's Choice, or like
you were there for many
stuff.
96s for sure.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
But just to see, like what it was, what it went to, it was it's kind of disheartening. But like at the time, I'm at a different stage of my life. Like I knew the Weekender before I was at the Weekender,
Yeah.
and then like after Weekender, like not necessarily, going there for what I was there,
Yeah.
earlier for. Still going to look for like content, stuff like that, but not necessarily like who's going to be where, and which is great for this area. Like you look at that Coors Live, like it was 5 columns and maybe like I don't know, like 9 point print sometimes.
Everyone talks about that Coors Live section,
It's
and that
always
was that was like that was such a
something to do. Always something to do every
yeah
night.
yeah, but that was like it was like people would turn into they turn the back page to the model. They look at the man and make fun of them, and they would turn to Coors Live. The three highest viewed pages of the Weekender, right? And granted, we had sponsors for man, we had sponsors for model, and we actually had sponsors. We had Coors Light sponsored Coors Live. So thankfully, we took advantage of those pages. But yeah, I mean, it was
Uh, Speaking of man of the week, I have a little trivia for you.
hmm,
Who
okay.
would be on it would it would be on the cover Who was the only person who got back-to-back covers while I was there?
Back to back?
And it has to do with Man of the Week. And I didn't realize that until I was thumbing through some old issues.
To back, man. Wait, so back to back meaning like week to week,
It would have been back-to-back cover. They were on the cover
right?
back to back, but the reason why was like part of the reason why was because they were Man of the Week.
It's got to be Polly.
Absolutely.
He was he
So
was
Paul Young,
hit
he
his
won.
head on the platter, right?
Exactly. He won Man of the Year. So it seemed the 2 years I was there, like it would be in October, and we
Right.
would do some sort of like horror background to it. I believe the year before that we had the model of the year, like take a picture with somebody from one of the like a horror hall or something like that. But the year of Polly, we had the model holding a platter with his head cut off on the platter,
Right.
and then the following week, Panacea was on the cover.
What do I win? What do I win?
Bragging rights.
Useless memory. Useless memory.
Yeah, bragging rights.
God damn it.
I bring I'd bring you a reward, but it's COVID. I can't do that face to face.
Do you go to work?
Do I go to work?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. You wear a mask?
yeah, I do.
Yeah. I'm vaccinated, so there's no excuse now. You can come to my
But
house. You can come to my house, wear a
you win,
mask, bring that prize.
you win this empty beer bottle.
Oh, it's terrible. Nugget nectar. That's good though. All right, real quick. I know you have work tomorrow. Favorite weekender memory, and I'll let you go.
There were so many of them. There were so many of them. I mean, I really can't. I was thinking about that. Like where can I like nail one down? But I mean, just hanging out at the cubicles with everybody, and going to lunches and stuff like that. So some of the covers, I absolutely, just loved being a part of it. Love being a part of like the creative process, and I think it might just be the whole experience as a whole. We had dodgeball, we had our horrible golf team. The only
Yeah.
the only shining the only shining moment from that softball team was probably Janelle's arm from third base. A
Right?
rocket.
Yeah. She had a good
Do you
arm.
remember
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
played and she had the bag too. She wasn't afraid of like taking liners. Like that
Oh,
just I was like shocked.
I forgot about that till you just mentioned it. But yes, hands down. Like you brought it up. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. And I believe Rachel like shortstop. Am I wrong there?
I feel like she was like a mid outfielder, like area ish. But yeah, I mean, we had a good time. We had a good team too. Like me, you, Carlo, yeah, Janelle. You mentioned like we actually had a decent group of individuals.
We were playing teams that have been together for like softball teams that have probably been together like 5 6 years, had everything dialed in, and we were like, I think Carries will sponsor us this year if we want if we want in. So it's like, all right. I guess we have a softball team this year.
Was that Terry's?
It was Carrie's Pub.
Carrie's Pub.
Yeah.
What was that place on? Dude, I fucking love going to Carrie's Pub after the games.
After, yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
That's why we were in it.
There was a pizza place on Pierce Street. It's now a nail salon. What was that? We'll probably need T Stein to tell us that.
Yeah,
I
yeah. She'd
remember
know.
we'd go there. We'd go there like on Wednesdays and shit like that.
Yeah.
Fuck.
She'd know. I cannot remember a pizza place on Pear Street.
I can't remember either. It was great. It was a good pizza place.
Yeah.
Again, I just miss.
Oh, I do know. I do. Yeah, I cannot remember the name of it because they had a great chicken cheesesteak
Sure. Sure.
right on the corner.
Yes.
I do. I could see it. I could see the place. I cannot think of the.
It's a nail salon now.
She'd know. She'd
She would.
know.
God damn
Yeah.
it. God damn it. God damn it. Oh well.
Yeah.
Well, hey man, this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it has.
I appreciate you taking the time to walk through memory lane with me.
Yeah, I'm so happy to catch up with you. You know, couple beers, but me down the road, maybe we could all get together and
That's the goal of this whole thing. I want to when I first started this, like, oh, we should do like a whole like Zoom gathering.
yeah,
And I'm like, hey, like it's hard enough to talk to one person without talking over them, and it's not even on purpose. Like it's just a lag and internet and all that kind of stuff. Like it'd be cool to do that. Everyone on the screen, and we could all like kind of collaborate and talk and. But it would be way more fun to actually get into a bar. Maybe it's Hops, maybe it's River Grill. Um, I would love uh, to organize that for all of us. I don't
um,
think that I'm the most important piece of the Weekender by any means, but I feel like I might, um, especially now with doing this, I might be the centerpiece of the puzzle, so to
you
speak.
you were Johnny Weekender. Don't
I
say
was,
don't say you weren't the most important. You were Johnny Weekender at the time.
I was not the most important by any means, but I was Johnny Weekender. You're right, and yeah, man, I if I could help bring people together, like especially the staff, because like I outside of a couple people on that staff, like I genuinely love all of you, and even those 2 3 people that I don't care for to this day. I mean, they're pieces of shit in my mind, but they're not pieces of shit to you. They can still
Well,
come.
when we,
They can still come hang out. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not here to like. It's not a party in high school where you say you can't come in. It's you're a piece of shit. You know you are, and that's fine. If you want to come to the party, that's fine too.
well, when we get to that bar and we're sitting top tier of hops, and you get in my ear, you see, and you're like, you see that guy over by the jukebox, piece of shit,
Piece of
bird fart.
shit. I can't even give you a hint to who it is, but whatever.
No, no, yeah, yeah.
I can't like I can't think of a way to hint to you because even no matter what I did, well, one you could probably guess. The second you probably wouldn't, but not important. That's not what it's about. That's that's
Oh
that's
man, it's
that's them. That's
all
their
about the love right now. It's all about the love.
all
It's all
about
about
love,
the good memories,
the good memories. Absolutely,
which is all we ever really had between us. So
absolutely. So
yeah,
so thank you, dude. I appreciate it. I'm so happy that you're continuing to do well. I had no doubt that you would. Please tell your wife that I said hello. Um, I'm happy your kids are doing well, and you know what? When you get that outside patio area going, let me know. I'll pop over, bring the kid. We'll light a fire and we'll hang out.
you know where I'm at. You know where I'm at.
Well, I can't. I'm like a vampire. I cannot cross the line without being invited. So I need to be invited.
Yeah, we're
So
going we're going Lost Boys rolls on this.
yeah,
Okay, absolutely.
you
Okay.
invite me. So it's
Well,
it's one of those things where if you invite me, I'll be there because like now I'm in when I was not single, but like without child, it's like, oh yeah, let's hang out. But like I was so busy doing things, like it was for work or just with my wife, just like we're just like constantly doing shit. Now it's like we're constantly looking for things to do with our son. Like, oh, well, can we do this and bring our son with us? Because like we can't like we don't want to be invited to parties that aren't kid friendly because now we need a babysitter. Like, but if it's kid friendly, we can hang out, have like, a drink or two, and BS. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. We'll stoke up the fire. We'll get everybody over and we'll do that.
hey, dude, I seriously, I am. I love those opportunities. I wish I took advantage of those more when even before I had a kid. But I mean, that's where my life is now, and I will take those offers any day of the week.
I hear you.
So,
That was great talking with you, though, John.
absolutely, man.
Yeah,
You were always, like I said, you were um like a big brother to me when we were at the Weekender, and I think you will always be that to me in some format. I always think about you when I see you like, randomly online. I know it's very rare that you're kind of on social media and shit like that, but like when I think about the Weekender, I think about you, and um, I remember our time together, and I remember um, just how much I looked up to you, and I'm very proud of you. I'm very happy for you, and I wish nothing but the best for you.
I appreciate that,
So
and right back at you.
thank you, man. I will talk to you soon. Hopefully, I'll see you sooner than later.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Thanks.
All right, take it easy.
All right, see ya.